Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of What the Haul. To my fellow Canadians, we are down one retailer. We still have Shoppers Drug Mart, the beauty boutiques. It's one of the best retailers that we have in terms of this space. And I've done a haul. I want to share with you some of the highlights, and I just want to give you some tips in terms of how I shop there. So without further ado, run the intro. Bum, 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 bum. So first and foremost, how are you? Glad to hear it. So just a little preamble before we get down to business. I finally watched Sinners. I made such an effort to avoid all the commotion on the internet. When the movie came out, I was tempted to go to the cinema, but I never found the time to do it. July 4th, it gets released. Maybe the first 30 minutes, I wasn't so deeply invested in it. I'm not somebody who likes horror or like suspense films, but I was at the edge of my seat and I kind of wish I was more present for the first part of the film because I'm sure there's some important details that I missed. It's action, it's suspense, it was culture, there's history. Ooh, there was just so much happening. It's also that Peaky Blinders thing. I love the aesthetic, the jazz age. I hope that they do make a sequel to this. I will absolutely go to the cinema if they do come out with it. It's 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. What I'm going to do in this video is I have one order and some additional things. There's a new brand that I want to bring to your attention. And for the foreigners or the people from foreign who aren't familiar with the Shoppers Drug Mart Beauty Boutique, I'm not sure what the equivalent is in the States, but it's kind of like Boots in the UK. But regardless of where you are in Canada, there are several different pharmacy chains, but this is the chain. There's small ones that have a very limited stock, and then you'll find complicated ones where you'll find TVs, groceries, and then a full open cell beauty environment. Just some good to knows. I believe the optimum points, that's the reward scheme that started in the year 2000. If they didn't have this scheme, I don't know why anyone would shop at Shoppers Drug Mart, to be honest, because the prices aren't competitive. I only buy things like medicine or household goods at a Shoppers Drug Mart, either if it's on sale or out of necessity. I believe the beauty boutique concept launches in the year 2003, and the first beauty boutique to ever open was Bayview Village. If you're not from Toronto, Bayview Village, it's a sleepy mall, but it's a high-end mall. Unless you live in that neighborhood, you're not going there without purpose. It's not an Eaton Center where it's like an actual tourist destination. If you find yourself in Canada and maybe you're thinking, I need to take gifts back home, you may want to stop at a beauty boutique if, you know, your currency is strong. And then for my Canadians, because it's a part of the Loblaws family, so that means the vast majority of our grocery stores, you can redeem your points, you can spend them at the liquor store, you can spend them at the gas station. Somebody's drawing up the math and they've calculated and set up the scheme in such a way that the house always wins. You and me as a consumer, we're just playing this game thinking that we're getting something out of it. Conversely, if there's things that you used to get at Hudson's Bay, right? Hudson's Bay was one of the oldest retailers in the world. If you used to go to Hudson's Bay and you were buying, I don't know, a Sublimage moisturizer from Chanel, why not buy it at Shoppers Drug Mart on the Beauty Boutique website and get back $50, $30, whatever it is, and spend that money towards your grocery bill, right? You may have noticed as well is that Shoppers constantly has these 20% offers. It's always coming up on my TikTok feed the week before, 2 or 3 days, 20% off the entire store, regular price items. It's literally every 6 weeks, it feels like. And so if you are on the Shoppers app, treat it like Essence. Make sure you have your wish list. Don't wait for Sephora. Buy your Drunk for Elephant at Shoppers. For the people who are not familiar, the store runs the gamut. They have $2 and $3 makeup things from brands like Essence. They also sell a lot of the brands that you find in Target in the States, like Jason Wu, Naturium, Physicians Formula, and then you have top-end makeup-y luxury items like Dior, Chanel. Now they sell Clé de Peau, they sell Armani makeup. The world is your oyster when you go onto their website. I always put the links to everything in the description box. For my Canadians, I will try to point you to Shoppers or well.ca where possible. So let's unbox. So we're going to start with some sheet masks. Sheet masks are cheap thrills. I used to be very averse to them because I was like, ooh, eco-friendly. But you know what? There was a certain wedding to happen last month. I can't recycle enough to undo the damage that was done there. I care, but I don't care. These ones are from a brand called Mask Bar, the vitamin C, and I think they had either arbutin or tranexamic. There was something in there that compelled me. I bought these just to kind of target the areas where I have the deepest pigmentation. I put it too close to like my cheeks and I ripped my skin. So I still have 1 or 2 of these lying around. This was really nice, but again, didn't do much for me. This is the Skin Republic glycolic mask. Rodiel makes a foaming mask with glycolic, and I thought that was interesting. This was about $10, and I thought, you know what, why not give it a go? It was moisturizing. It was pleasant. It didn't tingle too much. It was just a gimmick. Going back to Mask Bar. So this is their foot peel. In a past video where I talked about foot care, I said that foot peels are pointless. I was somebody who pumiced his feet regularly. And so the first time I tried baby feet, that's like the original Japanese product that took over the internet, it did absolutely nothing for me. And the reason why is because I didn't have any buildup of dead skin. I've been neglecting my feet for the last couple of months. These things absolutely do work. Follow the directions. Keep socks on your feet the week after, because the way the skin sheds, it creates a mess. You're going to have to bring out the Dyson regularly and just pick up all these bits of dead skin. Recently, Dr. Scholl also came out with a multi-pack of a similar product. I believe with all these sort of single-use sheet mask products, everything is pretty much made in Korea with the odd exception. And I think just brands, just go to the suppliers and probably just put their own label on them, right? Most recently, they started selling a lot of K-beauty products. So brands like Torridin, Mixsoon, the sunscreen brand, the one that I was talking about last time, they have that. I've been using these more so like a DIY sheet mask. I think it's a very good product for the price point. And now, if you are that person, you can buy all those products at Shoppers Drug Mart or on the Beauty Boutique website at the very least. We get things a bit later than you would do in Europe, but we have so much. We've always had La Roche-Posay. I don't know when you guys got it in the States. Even though it may still be a bit more versus what it sells for in Europe, we have all of these French pharmacy brands, Aven being one of my favorites. Because it's that warmer time of year, I sometimes switch up and go into some of their products. Like this Clean Ons mask is one of my favorites. And I have been using a number of products from Aven, and I'm going to record that in a video later on. This Gentle Exfoliant, one of the best. What I like in particular about French pharmacy brands, the formulations are always very effective for me. I respond really well to them. The same way some of you talk about K-beauty products being like the most transformative, gentlest, all that sort of thing. That's how I feel about the French pharmacy brands. Further to that, as somebody who likes the more higher end skincare, I don't feel like I'm making a compromise with these products. If I'm being price conscious, this is where I get the best value. Another French pharmacy hero is the Nuxe lip balm. This is probably the world's greatest lip balm. What makes this particularly special is that it's very dense, but it has no sheen whatsoever. Because it's a natural product and it's all honey based, as the days and the weeks progress, you'll notice that it's a little bit grainier from the first time you use it, but that's naturally what happens to honey. Honey crystallizes. When you're putting it on, it feels like a little bit of an exfoliation, but also moisturizing at the same time. All year, it moisturizes from morning till night. You're never feeling the need to reapply it. It just does everything. And again, that matte finish. So for the people who do like to wear lip products like glosses, lipsticks, and things like that, I feel like it can act like a primer and not compromise the finish or the look of your lip products. Next, I just bought this on a whim, Roger and Gallet. This is another video that I'm going to be going over with you shortly. I picked up the bar soap in the Eau de Cologne de Jean Marie Farina, which is their signature scent. This is a combination lemon, orange, petit grain, lavender, and rosemary. It's a beautiful sort of guest soap. This brand, they make tins with like a variety of soaps. I used this just to wash my hands for a couple of weeks, and it was really nice. And you'll see the packaging. It looks really decorative for the people who want to perfume their linens, underwear drawers. Throw a couple of these bar soaps all over, and it's just going to perfume the drawers when you go to pull out your white tees and things like that. It's really, really nice. Naturium, I said, this was a brand that I went over in another video. Formula driven, really pleasant products. Overall, a great brand. If you want to know more about the Naturium, I've done an entire video where I rated some of the things that I picked up from them. There's a new brand that just came up a couple months back, and it's called
La Rosée.
Anytime there's a new shower oil, I'm always giving it a go. There used to be a Shea shower oil from L'Occitane, and the last time I went on their website, I think it's been discontinued. It was far superior to the almond. I'll die on that hill. This smells identical to that L'Occitane Shea shower oil. Produces lots of lather. It rinses off milky. Now that it's warmer, I don't need to moisturize as often. So this is definitely adding and not just taking the dirt off. And for my friend who always asks, this is one of these that doesn't stain or leave a film behind in the shower, so you're not slipping and sliding or risking your life. Another thing that I'm always open to trying is natural deodorants, and they have this one. This is refillable, so I have bought this not once, but I bought it twice. So that tells you how impressed I am by this one. I can't describe the scent. I did, in fact, message the brand to see if they can give me like a summary. It's like laundry. There's a little floral note to it, but it's more soapy than anything. It does leave traces on black tees. It does rinse off completely. None of my white tees have the yellow underarms. It's clay-based. It's smooth. You do have to be very liberal when you're applying it. For somebody who's not a heavy sweater like me, go to work in the morning, get home by 5, and is still like 75-80% there. I may want to reapply in the evening. I was on the fence about this. I went on the brand's website to see if I could find reviews. Everything was en français. I had to go really deep into the trenches of the reviews until I found somebody called Bertrand. And then I knew that yes, men are using this. It doesn't look it, but yeah, it's very neutral. There's a QR code when you see the refill cartridge. When you do it the first time, it's a bit awkward, but you watch the video, there's a demo on their website. I'm probably going to keep buying this from now on. Melon Gets is still my favorite. It's transparent and I like the scent of that one more. It's very hardworking, but this is a close second. And then the last thing that I picked up from this brand, and I want to show you, their Healthy Glow Concentrate. So Bon Mine. This is a combination carrot, apricot, and astaxanthin. Anytime I see carrot, apricot, sign me up. I'm always invested because carrot and apricot, they're orange, and orange is beta carotene, so a little bit of a vitamin A situation. Astaxanthin is what makes this product so pigmented. So you can see it's like this vibrant shade of orange. I don't know what food it's present in. I don't know if it's salmon or some berries. I'm going to put up something in the B-roll to explain. It's a very strong antioxidant. You don't see it in too many places outside of Japan. There was a skincare brand called Astalift. Everything had the Fujifilm technology and the astaxanthin, which is why the product was red, and it was supposed to make you look a better version of you. And that's what put me onto this one. It's a thin oil. It's not greasy. It's a little bit of a dry finish. In the B-roll, I put it on one side of my face. It does kind of give you a little bit of a boost. If you're my skin, it's going to show up, but it's not going to be as noticeable if somebody was more fair. For the people who want to go makeup free, a little bit of this plus the Ombriolise tinted creams, the red or the orange one, and that just make you look like beaming. I'm really, really impressed by this. And they do make loads of other products. They have like a sugar oil body scrub. They have a hyaluronic serum, another oil for moisture. If you are into your natural products, or if you find yourself in Europe, they have baby products, they have hair care. That's just basically a rundown of the various things that I've picked up from shoppers in the last little while. Create that wish list, wait for the 20% off and stock up. I don't know if it makes it any better. But the shopper stores I believe, are all franchised. So that means you're kind of supporting somebody local in a way. I don't know. The associates who work in the beauty boutique department, they are on commission. If you build a rapport, you have your person that you deal with, they'll give you nice samples. It makes more sense to shop there than it does at some of our other retailers. So I just want to put that on the floor. I hope you found this useful. Let me know what are the things that you pick up when you go to shoppers. Thank you for listening. Thank me for speaking, and I will catch you in the next one. Adios.